Okay, good afternoon, and welcome to the Veterans Bridge and Naming Celebration. If you would all stand if you can, and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. And after that, remain standing if you can for the national anthem sung by our Petty Officer, Stephen Powell. He's a Navy veteran. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we'd hailed, that the twilight last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we'd watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Excellent. The City of Surprise is proud to host this special event in recognition. You can all be seated. I'm sorry. We're proud to host this special event. There's the sound of freedom right there. This special event is in recognition of our veterans and in celebration of the naming of our Grand Avenue and Bell Road Bridge to Veterans Bridge. We are honored to have Governor Doug Ducey and Congresswoman Debbie Lesko and State Senator Rick Gray here with us today. I would also like to welcome Chase Castle. Where are you, Chase? Oh, there you are. All right. On behalf of Senator Martha McSally, who couldn't be here today, she was very disappointed that she couldn't be here. You know, she was a veteran. She was the first woman pilot in the Air Force, fighter pilot. So. Also with us today is Arizona State Senators David Livingston and Sean Kerr. Also with us is the Glendale Mayor Jerry Weirs, right here. And Mayor from El Mirage, Alexis Hermosillo. And down here in front, we have all the council members from the City of Surprise, which thank you for coming, and the city manager. I know we have several veterans groups present as well. Thank you for your service, and thank you for being here today. This event is truly in honor of you. In recognition of your service, I invite everyone to join me in a round of applause for the second time. You know, before we begin the program, I'd like to take a moment to recognize Mr. Dan Riley. Where are you, Dan? Dan? The genesis of this idea was Dan's, and he came to Congresswoman Lesko when she was a state senator, and she got it started, but then the Vietnam Wall came to surprise, and he got together with Councilman Remley and I and Senator Rick Gray, and so the three of us, especially Senator Rick Gray, he was amazing what he did. And Councilman Remley, so between the three of us, we got it moving. Councilman Remley went down and testified for the city of Surprise at the hearing of the geographic. What's the name of that organization? It's a long name. Okay. Anyway, at this time, I would like to welcome Governor Doug Ducey to the podium to say some words.
Thank you very much, Mayor. I want to say thank you to everyone for the very warm welcome today. I've got everyone saying thanks for coming to Surprise. Hey, listen, anything to get out of the state capitol. And on a Friday afternoon as well, and I will tell you, I will go anywhere that Stephen Powell is singing the national anthem. Wasn't that a great rendition? And I love how everybody at an outing like this sings along with him. So we are here today to honor America's finest, our men and women in uniform. And today is about so much more than a single bridge in a single city. As we know, our veterans have fought, bled, and sacrificed to keep our freedom. And we are forever grateful to them. So today, the state of Arizona is honored to recognize you by renaming this bridge Veterans Bridge. We cannot thank our veterans enough. These are the men and women in uniform today and in years past that have preserved our freedom, allowed us to do things like this and celebrate on their behalf. So let's give them one more round of applause, right? I don't think we can say thank you enough, and I know in settings like this, with people gathered here, we do it all the time, but it's something that we need to make sure spreads through our schools and our neighborhoods, and that our children understand that as well. And our state is not only committed to things like this that recognize service and sacrifice, but also issues in policy to honor the service and sacrifice of our veterans. Arizona was on the forefront of recognizing universal recognition of licenses for military spouses, and we have taken that good policy and now are the first state in the nation to recognize licenses universally for everyone that is moving to the state of Arizona. And it was really military spouses that helped us make the case. When you talked about this idea, and I have no idea why the idea is controversial in the least, when we said that a military spouse who relocates should have the opportunity to go to work and earn a living, everyone agreed. And now we've done that for every American citizen. So it is the military, it's these dedicated spouses that are leading the way. And I will tell you, governors from around the country are coming and flocking to pass the good legislation that our legislature here in Arizona signed into law last week. We also want to turn the tide on a tragic epidemic that we're seeing in every state across our nation, and that's veteran suicide. In 2017, our state launched the Be Connected program. Now, this is focusing on reducing suicides through better policy among Arizona's military and veterans with tools, support, training, and a 24/7 hotline. This year, the state budget will provide $1 million in resources to Be Connected so that our state can provide more veterans the life-saving support they deserve. I want to give a number of shout-outs to people that made this day possible for supporting our veterans. Again, the mayor of Surprise, Skip Hall, the Surprise City Council and Council Member Remley, State Senator and Majority Leader Rick Gray, United States Representative, we're so proud of her, Surprise's own Debbie Lesko, Director Wanda Wright from Veteran Services, and Director John Helikowski from the Department of Transportation. And one more shout out for Martha McSally, the first female fighter pilot to serve in combat, to lead a squadron, and now the senator from the state of Arizona, Martha McSally. From this day forward, may Veterans Bridge serve as a reminder of all our nation's veterans have done for us. Arizona is eternally grateful for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. We're also honored to have Congresswoman Debbie Lesko here in support of this renaming. I'd like to invite her up now.
How's everyone doing today? It's hot, isn't it? And it's just started. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you, I am so thankful to be in Arizona. I'm usually in Washington, D.C., and if no one's told you, it is crazy in Washington, D.C., and so I'm glad to be back in the great state of Arizona in my district, which includes Surprise. First of all, I want everyone that's a veteran here to please raise their hand. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you, all of you for your service to our country. We cannot pay you enough and thank you enough for everything that you have sacrificed. And when I was going around earlier today, I saw that there was someone told me there's a World War II veteran here. Right here, sir. Raise your hand if you can, sir. Wow. Man, you are from the greatest generation there is. But you know, there's a lot of good. Another one? Another World War II. Woo! All right. Thank you so much, both of you, and I hope you're sharing your stories because my dad was a World War II veteran, and I didn't know a lot about what he did until his funeral when his brother, my uncle, told me what he had done. So please share your stories because we need to know what happened. We need to know your bravery, and it's good for all of us to know, and our children and our children's children to know. Thank you so much. First of all, before I say anything, I want to introduce Jessica Rosa. Where are you, Jessica? Jessica is a veteran herself, and she is my Veterans Affairs caseworker in my office. So Jessica has cards, and make sure if you have any issues, veteran benefits, health care benefits, that you go see Jessica so that you can get her card. Call my local office. It's at 71st Avenue in Bell so that we can help you because that's one of the things I want to do. And first of all, I want to say that I am a believer that one person can make a difference. I've seen it so many times in my life and throughout history. And Dan Riley, you have made a difference, man. You have made a difference. He is the man, as the mayor said, who came up with this idea of naming the bridge, came to me, and then, you know, I ran for Congress, so I couldn't finish it up. But then Senator Rick Gray, who's followed in my footsteps and replaced me, took up the mantle along with the mayor and the city council, and here we are today, where one man came up with an idea and many working together got it done. Well, I want to say thank you to the governor. You know, the governor, I worked with him in the state senate and in the state house, and he's done a lot of good things. So has the state legislature, and we have Sina Kerr here, and we have, they said David Livingston, I don't know where he is, but these people work hard. I don't know if you know it, but they get paid $24,000 a year, and they work their butts off, and they get criticized a lot. But they really do work hard, and the people that I worked with, no matter if they're Republican or Democrat, really worked hard for what they believed in. And so I want to thank them for that as well. So anyway, it's hot here. I think we should wrap this up. But I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you to the people involved, ADOT, the commission, everyone that worked so hard to get the renaming of this bridge done. And with that, I fly out to Washington, D.C. again on Monday. And guess what? One of my committees, Judiciary Committee, we're going to have Attorney General Barr is coming to testify. So, boy, that's going to be a hot one. You better watch. Turn on your TVs. It should be for interesting soap opera watching. So, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Congresswoman Lesko. Senate, like I said earlier, and like it's been referred to by the Congresswoman and the governor, Senator Rick Gray was key to supporting our renaming effort. And I'd like to welcome him up to the podium now for some remarks. Senator?
Well, thank you, Mayor. I did not plan any specific remarks because when you're the last one to speak, most of the points are taken. So, but I do want to say a couple of things. One, I agree with Congresswoman Lesko. One person can make a difference, and I appreciate Mr. Riley coming up and speaking to me. But I also know something that I'm acutely aware of because of my involvement, particularly in politics, is that politics is a team sport. You don't get anything done with one person. So when Mr. Riley had mentioned to me and I started checking into it and found out from ADOT what had to be done, I had some paperwork to fill out, which we did. We got some consensus of support, which was fairly easy to do. I was a former business owner, and as a politician, I'm acutely familiar with paperwork with the government. And so that was the easy part as far as I'm concerned. But it was pulling everybody together, working together, and I just want to acknowledge, one, the City of Surprise for their phenomenal support from the get-go on this. And then with this particular, the work that they put on, including Jody Toss, which I don't think she's been recognized yet, but there's Jody. She is a dynamo at getting stuff done. So she is actually a jewel in the City of Surprise, for those of you that don't know her. This is a team effort. This is and I want to also thank the governor. Now, I was at another event just this week that the governor was also at. In fact, it was Wednesday. It had something to do with veterans too. It was concerning veteran spouses. And I've already talked with the Mayor Velmiraj about what we can do for that. We recognize the veterans, and so many people are fully aware of what veterans have sacrificed for, but they don't look at the cost that their spouses have paid. And so the governor was at the event, at the Goldwater event for veteran spouses. So this commitment of his for veterans isn't just for today. This is an ongoing thing for him. As an Arizonan, I'm proud to have that level of commitment in our governor's office for our veterans. So let's give the governor another hand. And I do know it's warm, but I want to say one more thing. One, as I was sitting there, I noticed the gentleman up on the roof of Chick-fil-A. He's not munching on his sandwiches. He's actually there looking out, protecting us. I actually had a gentleman as I was walking in from the parking lot that said to me, something about, this is quite the day to be wearing a suit jacket and a tie. And I told him I thought about that as I was putting on my jacket. But I said, when I did, I thought about the police that are here. And if you look at, there's a gentleman walking right out here protecting us. But if you look at his garb that he's got on, it's a lot more than my little light jacket and my little tie. We've got people that serve us day in and day out with not only our veterans, which this is all about, but I just want to also bring your attention to our police and fire who serve us, and they don't worry about how hot it is. They do their job. That is the kind of attitude that our veterans have shown. That's why for me it was not a problem to say, yes, this should be done. That's a great idea. For all of you that are coming out here and enduring the heat, you obviously have that same commitment that we need to acknowledge their support, or our support for them, their sacrifice, their service. And so for me, it's just an honor to be able to be a part of the team to help bring this to pass. So thank you very much, all of you, especially our veterans.
Thank you, Senator Gray. I'll be quick. The Veterans Bridge is our city's busiest roadway, and I sincerely hope that the naming will inspire everyone who travels on it to reflect on the service and the sacrifice of our heroic veterans. In addition to the road signs, the city is planning for additional signage to be installed on the bridge, on the face of the bridge, both for southbound and northbound in the future. So I would like to unveil the concept for that right now with the help of Governor Ducey, Congresswoman Lesko, and Senator Rick Gray. You know, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize a couple of people besides Jody, who is something else. We all know that. But I'd also like to recognize our city manager, Mike Frazier, and his team, especially Mike Gent and Terry Lowe, because they coordinated all this for this signage. And it takes a lot to coordinate everything. And so... So as we close out this program, I'd like to call your attention to the tables in the rear back here. One table has keychains to commemorate this event. The other table has information on veteran services. So please stop by and grab a keychain and see what we have to offer for veteran services, okay? So thank you all for coming, and that's it.